Okay, hello everyone. So today we are going to start a very important rule in differentiation, and that is chain rule. Okay, many of you have been confused in this topic, many of you find it very difficult, but actually it is very easy if you understand it step by step. Okay, so without you telling you the theory and everything, I will just quickly take an example, and with the help of the example only I am going to tell you what is chain rule and how to apply it. Okay, now let's begin. Let's take example number 1. Suppose it is given to you that y is equals to x square plus 1 whole to the power 4 by 3, and I want you to differentiate this and get the value of dy by dx. Now what will you do? Yes, you will say, sir, we can't apply product rule here, we can't apply division rule here, we cannot apply any direct formula. But if you think long enough, you can say, sir, instead of x square plus 1, if you would have given me or given us y is equals to x to the power 4 by 3. Okay, if you would have given us x to the power 4 by 3, then the differentiation would have been very easy. What you will say, sir, then it is very easy. We will say, sir, it is 4 by 3 into x to the power 4 by 3 minus 1. So it will be 4 by 3 into x to the power 1 by 3, right? So this would have been quite easy if instead of x square plus 1, I would have given you a single function x, right? Now, if you ask me this thing, I will say tathastu. Okay, if you want a single function x, instead of x square plus 1, take it and solve it similarly, right? So what we will do, in order to solve this, now we are going to form a chain here. What that chain is going to be? Look here. This x square plus 1 is the challenge here, right? If you can assume this to be a single x, if you can assume this x square plus 1 to be single x, so in your mind you just imagine it is x to the power 4 by 3. Just in your mind you imagine this, okay? In your mind, don't write it. You just in your mind just keep it. Yes, x square plus 1 is a single function, and let's differentiate that, okay? So what will happen if you differentiate it, treating it as a single function? Then you will say, sir, 4 by 3 into x square plus 1 to the power 4 by 3 minus 1. But a little difference is there. Now you have to differentiate this function also, which is inside the bracket, okay? Because you assumed this to be a single function x, so you found out like this, but now you have to differentiate this also. So multiplied by the differentiation of x square plus 1. Now everybody knows what is the differentiation of x square? It is 2x. Differentiation of 1 is 0. So your final answer for this differentiation will be 8 by 3x into x square plus 1 whole to the power 1 by 3. I suppose this is clear now. Okay, so what we did, we actually formed a chain here. Now what was the chain? We said if instead of x square plus 1 we can get a single function, then the differentiation can be very easily solved, then the differentiation can be very easily done. Okay, so fine, we assumed x square plus 1 to be a single x, okay, single capital X, suppose. Let's assume this is a single x, so we can differentiate it similarly, and then after writing the differentiation of this, we will differentiate the inner function x square plus 1, right? So x square plus 1 derivative will be 2x, one's derivative will be 0. So now you have to multiply this. So 2x into 4 by 3, 8x by 3 into x square plus 1 to the power 1 by 3. So this is how you get the answer. Now let's take a few more examples so that things can be pretty much clear for you, right? So let's take another example. Now look here. Suppose it is written that y is equals to sine of x square. Again, and I ask you, find dy by dx. Okay. Then what will you do? You will again say, sir, if instead of x square you would have given a sine of x, we would have easily solved it and we would have easily told you the right answer. And what would that have been? Suppose I say sine of x. Okay, so what is the derivative of sine of x? You will say, sir, it is quite easy and simple. It will be cos x. Okay, fine. Sin x derivative is cos x. But the problem is here I have not given you x sine of x, I have given you sine of x square. So what are you gonna do is you are gonna differentiate this function treating x square as a single x, right? Just imagining in your mind, just imagine that it is not sine x square, it is sine x, capital X, okay? So what is the derivative of sine of x? So you will say, sir, cos, write it as it is. Now multiply by, now you have to multiply this x square. Sorry, you have to multiply this differentiation with the derivative of x square. What will be the differentiation of x square? You will say 2x, right? So your final dy by dx function will become 2x into cos of x square. Do you get it? Now let's take another function. Suppose y is equals to e to the power, okay, e to the power root x. Now, how will you differentiate this? Y is equals to e to the power root x. So you will say, sir, instead of e to the power root x, if you had given e to the power x, then the answer would have been easily solved, okay? The question would have been easily solved. Dy by dx would have been e to the power x only, there is no problem. But now in this question, I have not given you e to the power x, instead I have given you e to the power root x. Okay, so you say, sir, if instead of root x you could have given us x, then question would have been easily solved, right? Right or not? Okay, so we will say, let's assume root x to be x. So dy by dx, it will be e to the power root x will remain e to the power root x, because e to the power x derivative is e to the power x, multiplied by differentiation of root x. It will be what? 1 by 2 root x. So your final answer will be e to the power root x upon 2 root x. Do you get it? Okay, so this is the way, this is the method. What you do, suppose, again I will tell you, suppose sine of x square is given to you and you say, sir, x square, instead of x square, if you could have given us x, then things would have been easy, because differentiation of sine x is what? Cos x, right? So I will tell you, okay, if you want x here, just imagine that yes, it is x. So you can just imagine that this x square is actually capital X. Then if you differentiate sine of x, so it will be cos of capital X, and instead of capital X, you again write x square. Now differentiate capital X also. Capital X is what? X square. Its differentiation will be 2x. Similarly here, you can assume this to be capital X, right? So e to the power capital X, its differentiation will be e to the power capital X only. And then you have to differentiate capital X also, its differentiation will be 1 by 2 root x. Are you understanding this? I hope you are. Okay. So, okay, let's take some more examples. That will be better. Okay, let's take another example. This is a very simple one. Okay, suppose y is given to you. Okay, tan of root x, right? Now you have to differentiate this. Again, you will say, sir, if instead of root x, what would have been given to you? X. Then derivative of tan x is what? Sec square x. Okay, fine. You assume this to be root x only, right? So you say y is actually tan of x. Then when you differentiate this, so derivative of tan x is what? Sec square x, right? Into differentiation of this also, right? So here when you differentiate tan root x, it will become sec square root x multiplied by derivative of root x. Now you have to differentiate this function also. So its derivative is 1 by 2 root x. So your answer will become dy by dx is equals to sec square root x upon 2 root x. Do you understand? Into by 2 root x. Are you understanding, students? I hope this time it is clear. Now this is chain rule. Now I am not doing more questions on chain rule. Why? The reason is because there are very simple concepts which are involved in the physics, including chain rule. Okay, so it is not that difficult and not very complex questions comes in physics related to chain rule. So we can leave this here as it is, and let's move on to the real meaning of differentiation. So till now we have understood what is differentiation. No, we have understood how to do differentiation, right? So till now in all these lectures we have understood how to do differentiation, but today we are going to understand what is actually differentiation, right? What is differentiation? Then we will understand why we are doing it, how to apply it, what are its applications, okay, and finally how to use differentiation in physics. Okay, so let's understand what is actually differentiation. Okay, to understand differentiation, first we need to understand a little bit about slope. Okay, so let's understand what is slope. See, suppose I draw a line, straight line like this. Okay, now what is the slope of this line? You will say, sir, just draw this angle theta, right? And the slope of this line will be tan of this angle theta which this line makes with the horizontal axis, right? It is very simple. Nothing. Slope is nothing. Tan of the angle which this line is right now making with the horizontal axis. Cool. It is absolutely clear. Now, one more way to understand theta is, see, if this is a straight line, you don't say that only this angle is theta. You can also draw a parallel line to x-axis and say again this is making angle theta with the horizontal. If you draw at this point a straight line, you can measure this angle, say again, so this is theta. Okay, that means this straight line is always making an angle theta with the horizontal axis, right? It is always making an angle theta with the horizontal axis, so its slope is constant. So its slope is constant. Do you understand this thing? Clear? So this is a straight line. What is the slope? Slope is the tan of theta, where theta is the angle which this line makes with the horizontal axis. Plus we can also see that a straight line always makes a fixed angle theta at all the points with the horizontal axis. So we can say that the slope of a straight line always remains constant. It is fixed everywhere. Okay. So for this particular line, whichever point you go, like you go to point A, you talk about point B, you reach point C, wherever the hell you go, you can say that the slope of this straight line remains constant, which is tan theta. Okay. Is it clear? Now let's understand another way of finding out tan theta, right? So suppose this is a straight line and this angle is theta, right? And let me take some points. Let me take this is point A and let me take this is point B. Okay. Now let's say the coordinates of point A are x1, y1 and coordinates of point B are x2, y2. Now, if you can see this triangle, you see this is a right angle triangle. Right. Let me take out this triangle from here. This is theta and this is point A, this is point B and this is x1, y1 and this is x2, y2. Now, what I need is, I need this height and this base so that I can find the slope, right? Now you tell me, what is this height? You will say, sir, this is y1. And what is this height? You will say, sir, height is y2. Suppose I talk about this point and I talk about this point. So what is this length? You will say, sir, x1. And what is this length? You will say, sir, x2. Now, can you tell me what is this height? Don't you think it is y2 minus y1? So it is y2 minus y1, right? And what is this base? You will say, sir, this is x2 minus x1. Cool. So we say, what is tan theta? So tan theta is the slope of this straight line, which is also equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. And what is y2 minus y1? y2 minus y1 will be delta y and x2 minus x1 will be delta x. Now what is the meaning of this delta y? The meaning of this delta y is that it is the change in the y coordinate. Delta x means change in the x coordinate. So basically slope becomes the change in the y coordinate upon the change in the x coordinate. I hope this is clear, right? So we can also express the slope of a straight line like this, and which remains constant for a straight line. We have seen that this straight line always makes angle theta or same angle theta with the horizontal axis. That is why the slope of a straight line will be constant, and we can figure out if 2 points are given to us on a straight line, we can easily get the value of slope. So either we know the angle theta, so we can directly get the value of tan theta and say this is the slope, or if 2 points are located on a straight line, then with the help of those 2 points and applying this concept, we can again get the value of slope, right? So slope, I hope, is clear. What is slope in a straight line? It is constant everywhere. What is actually slope? Slope is the tan of the angle which the line makes with the x-axis. Achha, one more thing is that this angle should always be measured in this sense. What sense? In this sense. That means in which direction? Anti-clockwise from the horizontal axis. Okay? Now, let's understand what happens if the graph is not a straight line. If the function is not a straight line, it's a curve. Then what happens? Okay? Now see, if I take a curve, suppose like this, okay? Now this is the curve and I want you to find out what is the slope at this point. So you will say, sir, slope at this point, how can we figure out? Because now this is not a straight line. It is a curve, it is not a straight line, it is going like this. So the angle of the curve with the x-axis or the horizontal axis is constantly changing. I will tell you how. What is the slope here? You will say, sir, draw a tangent here. And this is the angle theta 1. So what is the slope at point A? You will say, sir, slope at point A will be tan theta 1. Can you see that? Now, if you go to another point, if you go to point B, okay, what is the slope here? You will say, sir, no problem. Just draw a tangent here, right? This angle will be theta 2. Now, again, what is the slope at B? You will say, sir, m2 is the slope, which is equals to tan theta 2. Clear? Can you see that theta 1 is greater, theta 2 is greater than theta 1? That means slope is not same at both these points. Slope at A and slope at B, they are not same, they are different. And at every point, can you see that if I draw the tangent, the angle this tangent is gonna make with the x-axis is not gonna be the same, right? If I draw a tangent here, as I move on, as I keep moving on, the angle which the tangent is making with the horizontal axis is not remaining constant, it is changing with time. Okay, sorry, it is changing as we move forward. Okay, it is changing as we move forward. So that means a curve does not represent a constant slope. A curve represents a variable slope, right? Now, in straight line, it was very easy to find the slope. If theta is not given, then it is quite easy. You take 2 points y1, x1, y1, x2, y2, and you do delta y upon delta x. That is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, and you can simply get the slope of the straight line. That was very easy. But now, if you have a curve, then how will you do that? Let's take 2 points on a curve and see what we are getting, right? So let's take 2 points on a curve and see what we are getting here. Now let's understand, students. Suppose a curve is given like this, and we have taken 2 points. This is point A and this is point B, right? Now, this point is x1, this point is x2, this point is y1, and this point is y2, right? Now, so let me complete this triangle for you, because this will be delta y, which will be y2 minus y1, and this will be delta x, which will be x2 minus x1. Okay, now if I want theta right now, what's tan theta? You will say that tan theta is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, that is delta y upon delta x. Now let me draw. This is point A, this is point B. Don't you think this time I am getting the angle theta, this, and tan theta is not the slope of the tangent here. Tan theta is the slope of the chord joining point A and point B. Are you understanding? So instead of getting the tangent at point A, we have derived the slope of the chord between point A and B, right? So do we want this? No, we don't want this. We want the slope at the point A separately, and we want the slope at the point B separately. Are you understanding? So this is what we want, but we are not able to get this through this concept, through this formula. We are not able to get this. Tan theta is delta y by delta x. Absolutely right. There is no problem here. But this tan theta in this triangle, this tan theta is giving you perpendicular upon base. It is actually the slope of this line. And what is this line? This is cutting the curve. Now, it is not the tangent to the curve. It cuts the curve. So it's a chord to the curve. It's not a tangent to the curve. What we want is, we want the slope of the tangent drawn at point A, and we also want the slope of the tangent drawn at point B. I hope this is clear. This much is clear. Now there is a very good technique, okay, through which we can get the slope at point A or B. Okay, so copy this. Okay, now I'm gonna rub this and use another diagram. Okay, students, now the technique is very simple. What we are gonna do is, okay, let's say this is point A. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring the point B very close to A, right? So I'm going to bring the point B here. Can you see that? So this is point A, this is point A, so point B. So what I'm going to do is, I am gonna bring point B very close to point A. Okay, I'm going to bring point B very close to point A, such that delta y almost tends to 0 and delta x almost tends to 0. This arrow means they are almost tending to 0. That means delta y becomes very small. Now if you see, I can form this triangle. Okay, small triangle. I will just magnify it here and show. If this is A and this is B, can you see this? This is a very small height, a very small change in y, and this will be a very small change in x. Can you see it here? It is very small, and with the chalk also it's becoming very difficult to show, but still I will try. Okay, so So this is a small triangle which I am showing it here, right? Because again we are very close. Now there is one important thing, students. When dy becomes extremely small, that means it is so small that it is almost equal to 0, then we represent delta y. When it tends to 0, we say it is dy. That means dy means it is a very small change in y, or we can say infinitesimally small change in y. Similarly, when delta x tends to 0, we say it is dx. So we don't write delta x, we write dx. Okay. So basically, delta y upon delta x can be expressed as dy by dx if delta x tends to very small value. That means if the change in the x coordinate is almost equal to 0 or is very small, or the change in the y coordinate is also very small or almost equal to 0, then we refer to them not as delta y, we refer to them as dy, and not as delta x, we refer to them as dx. So basically dy and dx are nothing but are very small or infinitesimally small changes in the value of y and in the value of x. Are you understanding? Now let's understand. Here, if I look at a small triangle, this angle will be theta, right? This angle will be theta, and this will not be delta y, this will be dy, and this will not be delta x, this will be dx, because they are extremely small right now. Are you understanding? Because this height is very small. It is not delta y. I have to write it dy, and this height is this base is very small. I cannot write it as delta x. I have to write it as dx. So what is tan theta right now? You will say, sir, tan theta will be perpendicular upon base, that is dy by dx. Now what is this hypotenuse right now representing? If you extend this, can you see that? This angle is also theta. That means if suppose this is the curve and I extend it, don't you think I am actually getting a tangent here at point A? This is nothing but a tangent at point A, right? And through dy by dx I am getting the slope of this tangent. So dy by dx represents the slope of the tangent at point A. Are you understanding the whole process? I will explain once again. What happened? The problem was when we were taking A and B far away, then delta y by delta x, which was tan theta, it was not representing the slope of the tangent drawn at A or B. Instead, it was representing the slope of the chord joining A and B. And what is chord? Chord is cutting the curve, and we don't want any chord. We wanted the slope of a tangent. So what we did is we brought B so close to A such that the change in the x coordinate of A and B is dx. It's very small, and change in the y coordinate of A and B is extremely small, dy. Such that tan theta, instead of writing delta y by delta x, I am using here dy by dx. Okay. So this dy by dx is actually representing the slope of the tangent drawn to the curve at this point. Can you see that? If I extend this line, I am simply getting a tangent at point A. That means dy by dx is representing the slope of the tangent drawn to the curve at any point. Now this is the definition of dy by dx. So whenever someone asks you what is dy by dx, what do you understand by differentiation? So you can say, sir, we use differentiation as a technique to find the slope of any curve at particular point. That means dy by dx basically represents the slope of the tangent drawn to the curve at any point. I hope it is clear. And for different kinds of curve, how to find it, that I have told you already through the formula, right? So let's take an example. With example you will understand things better, okay? Now let's take one simple example. Suppose there is a curve y is equal to x square. It's a quadratic equation with identical roots at 0. So this curve will definitely look like this. This is a chalk cut break And this chalk really irritates me. Anyways, let's come back. So this is a curve, right? This is the curve y is equals to x square. Everybody knows it's a parabola, and because this is a quadratic equation with identical roots. Now the question is, find the slope of curve. Find the slope of curve at x is equals to 4. Simple. They have given you a point at x is equals to 4. Where is that point? Here. So they want you to find the slope of this curve at this point. How will you do? You will say, sir, very simple. Let's just draw a tangent here. Right? Find this angle theta, and this tan theta will be your answer. Right? This tan theta will be your answer. So you will say, okay, simple. But how can you get this? Okay, it is again difficult. So what will you do? Sir, tan theta is the slope of the tangent drawn. And how do we represent? This time this tan theta will be represented by dy by dx. Okay, now what is dy by dx of the curve? If y equal to x square, everybody knows, now we all know, if y is equals to x square, its differentiation will be 2x. We will apply the rule now. 2 into x to the power 2 minus 1. What it will be? 2x. So what is dy by dx? So you will say, sir, 2x. Okay, brilliant. It is 2x. Now where do we want the slope? We want the slope at x is equals to 4 at this particular point. So you will say, no problem, sir. At that specific point, tan theta will be 2 into, what is the value of x? 4. So what is answer? 8. So what is the slope of the line at this point? You will say 8. Now you understood how we can use differentiation to find the slope of the tangent or slope of the curve at any particular point. This is how we use differentiation. This is actually what differentiation is. Now it has many applications. Now their applications are mathematical applications also, and those applications are useful in physics also, right? So we are going to study both the applications. Some of the applications, how they are useful in mathematics, we are going to study them in the coming lectures or videos, and we are also going to study how these concepts are useful in physics in the coming lectures or videos. Okay, that's all for today. Students, thank you so much for listening to my lecture so patiently. Okay, I hope you have understood this concept. If you don't understand, if you feel my lecture is going slow, so you can just play it as 1.25x, play it at 1.25x. Or if you want to really understand it very well, you can play it at the normal speed. And if you don't understand yet, please pause it, try to understand at every point what I am trying to say, because I have written everything on the board. Whatever I am saying, I have written on the board and I have explained it properly. So little bit of efforts, you can understand this topic if you feel it is complex. Otherwise, it's okay, chill. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you, students. Bye bye.